Okay, so my last video. Ooh, Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 7, episode 10. Uh okay. So they are at the dinner still with the kids with Nell and Chris. Okay, here's where I'm gonna say, because I actually began to start writing down, going back and forth and trying to figure out who did what and what. And I've concluded I'm wasting my time. Um, I'm gonna take the gist of this. There's two people in the family that feels that they are getting the short end of the stick. Chris and Lexi. Chris is getting the short end of the stick, he feels, because he is the F up. Right. So he keeps getting in trouble. Everybody keeps bailing him out. And people are upset. So he feels that he's getting the short end of the stick because the expectation is that we're tired of bailing you out. And Lexi feels that she's not treated the same way. Um, you know, I don't. Okay, so there's a lot of talking back and forth online about Lexi. Here's the problem that I have. Um, she probably is being treated differently, but you're going to be treated differently when your mother, when you're being raised in a different household with your mother. Your mother is the primary custodial parent, and your dad is, and you come and be with your dad. There's going to be a different of a raising than anything, because than the kids that he has with his current wife. I think that that's a given. The question is how big of a difference. I want to feel a way when it comes to Lexi. I want to be a bit more compassionate, but the reason why I'm struggling with it is because I have seen where my godmother is a stepmom, and of course she I think she has done things over the years that I admire as a stepmother. Does she do as much for her daughter, her stepdaughter, as she does for her son? No. But they've paid for degrees multiple times over, because she keeps saying she's going to get a different degree, she's going to do this. And the chick lied about her graduating. Like, they went to a graduation, she didn't finish the degree. She started a master's program, supposedly. That was a lie. Like, I mean, she was upset that she didn't get a specific car that she wanted from them. She wanted like a Volkswagen, then she wanted an Audi. And they helped her with the car, but even their son's first or second car, were not brand new cars. He bought a brand new car for himself when he became a lawyer, right? But because they have access to all these different cars and he is able to drive some of them, but his first and second car were very nice used cars, even though it was a very nice used luxury car, but it wasn't a brand new car. And it wasn't even, what she was asking for was more than what they were asking for and than what they've given to their son. And she's the older daughter. And it's just, and then because she didn't get it, she didn't talk to them. Like the entitlement, right? So this car thing struck home for me because I think the car thing is going to be a big deal to a young person. I see my siblings driving, that were younger than me, driving this kind of car. And I have a stepdaughter. And my kids had Apple MacBook. I bought them a MacBook when they were younger. And they're on their second one. We wanted to buy the young girl asked specifically, is my husband's daughter, asked specifically for a computer. Actually, she asked for a Google Chromebook. And I'm like, cool, let's buy it for her because she is going to need it. And it just so happened, this was right before COVID. And when the mom found out what she asked for, she called him up and was upset that we were going to buy this for her. And went off. But see, daughter didn't know that the reason why she didn't get a Chromebook that year is because mom stopped it. My husband didn't tell his daughter that your mom stopped it. He let it slide, right? The next year, still no Chromebook. The following year, she says, okay, I think you can go ahead and buy it. We bought it. Now, will she remember this? I don't know. Maybe. Does she know what our kids have versus his kids? No. Now, if she would have known, would she feel away? Maybe. But that's not I'm not her mother. And I cannot say what we or him, I can't dictate what her mother will or will not allow because she is the custodial parent. And Lexi will not know all of the ins and outs of what happened, when, and why. And little things like, think of my godmother. It was prom. And prom, her custodial mother did not want the stepmom, to be there. Now, she has been in this person's life for like 15, 14 years at the time. And so what could she do? She sent roses, and that's all she could do, right? And she paid for the dress, right? So I'm saying all this that Lexi can feel, she has the right to feel how she feels. The problem is that she probably doesn't know how she the problem is she doesn't know the communication and the boundaries that was set when you're not living in the house with your father. You are living, there is a third person that you have to navigate parenting. And I can guarantee that my stepdaughter is mother is not going to be okay with us buying a car for Henry, my husband, and it's not going to happen. I just know it's not going to happen because of how controlling she's been over the years about what we can and cannot buy for the daughter. It's complete control over, if she feels that it's too many gifts, she'll send the gifts back. If she feels that it's too much or something, she makes the kid pick out what she wants and then she give away the rest of her stuff. You don't know, and Lexi does not know all of the other dynamics that happen. All she knows is the effect. And I'm not blaming the other mother. I'm just saying that there's multiple people who are involved in the parenting. Who get the blame is going to always be the non-custodial parent and the other whoever the non-custodial parent is married to. Now that she's an adult, could they be more involved? She's already angry. And it's going to be very difficult for them to roll back the hands of time because she's angry for how she was raised. She's angry because she always felt different being raised with her mother. Her mother clearly didn't have as much as they did. And so therefore, she is bitter. How do you get around bitterness? Because the whole blocking, like all of this, it was interesting. I've looked at the commentary. People are all ready to blame Chris, but I'm saying the problem is it is not easy when you have a non-custodial parent that's involved in the relationship. Now, if she lived with the dad, she lived with Chris the entire time, then I can understand where everybody's coming from. But she didn't. She lived with the mom. So therefore, it's really, really difficult. And how that relationship was and how she looked at how all they had, all the family vacations, they couldn't invite you. I mean, he could have invited you to the family vacations. If the non-custodial parent was like, nah, then what do we do? Right? I mean, so, and then also as a non-custodial parent, do you want to pull up text messages? Like, is this what you want to do? Emails? I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. Like, I mean, what are we proving? And at this point, all these years later, if you're going to be mean, if you're going to curse people out, you're going to still hold on to the things that happened in the past. I'm not interested in having you around as much. I mean, this is just how this goes. Blended families are complicated. Stormy and Courtney are talking about Tiffany. I love how Stormy's like, she can be a Karen at times. She's trying to be a mediator. Courtney's like, no alcohol. Take the shots to get the edge off. He's like, not in this house. Take him outside to pasture. I thought that was funny. Martell, talking about how hard it is to find a house. Okay. So he's moving in late night because he has help. And with from his brother and all these other folks, then he's talking about he's gonna get these bags removed from his eyes. His brother's laughing. Chris is delighted that they're moving. It appears that Stormy took Courtney's advice because they're in the guest house having the mediation. It ain't in the main house. So that was kind of funny. So Kiki's over here. First of all, why did she roll up in a busted car though? And why is it that OWN literally showed the part of the car that is clearly been in an accident? So shady. And Kiki is on methadone, so she's like having all these hot flashes and all these other things, I guess. Um, Stormy's bringing up, did you have you talked to Tisha? And she's like, no, I'm not talking to us that. And then, we going back to this whole, we haven't been good since we were kids and all this. I really don't. I'm not getting into that conversation because I'm tired of hearing it. I don't care. We grown. You got teenagers now. We go. They sound like children. Brittany and Melody are together. I'm trying to figure out, why is this not outsourced? Why is Melody still printing her own labels and doing all the packaging? I mean, it's very endearing, but why are you doing that? Why ship it? Why are you not doing why ship it? Um, Brittany is shady, and I love it. When it comes to Martell, I think that Melody was joking by saying, why aren't you here? I don't think that she intended for her not to be present and not go to her niece's sweet 16. Nell and Chris are talking, and Nell's like, look, our kids are asses. um, I don't know why I said that Nell is harsh to the children, which is why they're coming along and talking more to Chris. Nell's like, look, we need to be on a payment plan. But the problem is that these kids want a payment plan, but they don't want to pay interest. Why can't they pay their mama interest? All good points, yo. So they bring in back more of Tiffany's interview about um Kiki on Reality with the King. And I think that's a fascinating component here, because I don't understand why Tiffany's coming so hard at Kiki. I don't think that Kiki did anything per se that would to Tisha. Well, actually, take it back. Kiki did bring up, well, at least I know my father. I thought that was rude. But I don't know this, if it was rude enough to create this level of animosity. And I don't like how people keep making comments about her bringing the baby. She's, look, when I had my son and daughter, especially my son, because my son, I own my own company. And Sorry, y'all. Wait a second. Um, that's interesting. Okay, anyway. Um, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, the payment plan. The payment plan. Oh, no. I stopped that. Sorry, y'all. I was watching the preview, and the preview is legit interesting. Okay. Uh, I when I had my son, I had a company, so I was able to take him anywhere. I would take my son anywhere, and I breastfed him more than my daughter because he latched on to me immediately. So look, I don't I don't see why she wouldn't bring. Like I don't think that she's using it as a shield. And I don't like when people say that you're using your baby as a shield so that she won't go off on you. No, I'm not using my baby. I'm breastfeeding. And it's easier and it makes a life a lot better when you're just breastfeeding your kid instead of having to pump and leave it. Life is easier when you can just latch it on and I can take them with me wherever I go. I don't like that. I don't like when people coming after her that way. However, the preview for next week is it really interesting. I cannot stand Martell at all. And for him to try to be like, I don't like when women come to men disrespectfully. What? And I do think that Lewis and Tiffany do have to have a heart to heart by talking about like, is reality TV good for their relationship? I think this is a good conversation that men that husband and wives should have a conversation. Like Letitia and Marcel, if you really cared about your marriage, you probably would exit left on this show. And with the possibility of Letitia being pregnant, even the same, I would say the same thing about Kimberly and Maurice. This show did not help. Show did not help. So I think that Lou is the most reasonable one here by trying to sit Tisha down and be like, look, Tiffany down and be like heart to heart. Should we be here or not? We should not be having problems in our marriage based on the show. And people are having all these rumors that he's cheating, which I think is really unfair because it appears that the rumors are because he is on the road a lot. And when you're on a baseball team, you're on the road a lot. So that's really not fair to be pulling up saying, oh, he's cheating on her. He's, you know, being on the road, that's not him cheating on her. It's being on the road. Anyway, I'm done. Can't believe it. I knocked out all my videos, most of my videos. I'll see you later. Bye.